came out and let it all over the place. The cartel says that's not his real name. The intel people from the government came back and said, damn, cartel doesn't believe that's your real name. I'm like, fuck them, I don't care.
All right, we're live.
What we're doing now is we're going to go down and start right down at the bottom. As you come off the Rio Grande, right in front of America One Dam, our private fencing starts. This is where DHS and Border Patrol can enter full speed. They come shooting right through here in the event there's any problems. We're coming up to the wall now. There was the gated issue. We build the wall, never ever lock the gate. All we do is close it to let the concrete cure. So the media made a big thing out of this whole ordeal, and we're on a handshake level. The boots on the ground, people, IBWC, we're all getting along fine. You know, there was a little bit of miscommunication. We're working it out as grown individuals, common sense. So now we're coming up to the wall itself. The bollards are 25 feet in total length. We go 7 feet below ground, 18 feet above ground. We've gone a little bit further with ours. We're using 1/4 inch higher carbon steel. It's given us a 100-year life. So each bollard tube, there's 9 per bollard panel, is 7 feet down and 15 feet up. We also have 3 feet of concrete poured from the bottom in each tube. So each tube is filled up to 10 feet or 3 feet above the ground. Additionally, on top of that, we have 2 number 8 rebars, 1.25 inches thick. Impassable. Now let's talk about our sensor patterns.
It's slick on top.
Well, it's a little bit more. There's some special treats up there we can't discuss. So now let's go to our sensing abilities we placed in on this. As you can see here, we've got 14 sets of light poles going up a ½ mile stretch. Below ground, subsurface, we've got our fiber optics in place. That fiber optics will resonate 40 feet out in each direction and 40 feet down. But the fiber's already 7 feet in the ground, so almost 50 feet down. Tunneling, forget about it. If somebody gets within 40 feet of this wall, within 6 seconds, it activates the Border Patrol, DHS, turns on the lights, turns on the audio deterrence that we have in place, and the fiber is so active it can tell the difference between a rabbit, a human, a small vehicle, or a large vehicle. There's no way that anybody can get to this wall and burn through it, chop through it, or blow through it in less than 2 minutes. Okay? Now, let me give you a little explanation while we're down low. We're at 3,744 feet. We're at 4,900 when we get to the top. That's a 31% grade that the Corps of Engineers could never be built. We built this project for under $8 million. The closest bid we got to it was $26 million. We built this in 17 days total. 9 months was the closest bid for time. So, as you can see, you guys are living it, you're on it. Now let's go even further. We have a 25-foot speedway in place. We use 4,000-pound PSI concrete to get to that top. Now when we take off, we're going to go to the top of this mountain in less than 1 minute. It used to take 17 to 20 minutes to get up the other way. And in another video, I'll show you that.
I gotta call you back.
So what
This is Jim. Just so you guys know, I'm with Stuart Rhodes, the president of Oath Keepers. We're in a truck with Foreman Mike. These guys came down to check out the wall and check out the border.
Absolutely.
So we've got Oath Keepers, Stuart Rhodes here, and Colonel John right here. Say hi.
Hi.
Okay, these guys are also coming down to the border, just looking for areas that they can help out in. So we're starting to see more Americans getting united, taking the border more seriously, guys. And then this is what we need. We need a little bit of momentum. So
we're doing a live stream here.
We got to keep the focus on the border here. But thought you guys might want to go on a special tour here as we take these guys to look at the wall.
This beautiful wall and road. All right.
With Foreman Mike and Stuart Rhodes.
Okay, so here we go. We're going to get ready to go up, and we'll give a little explanation while we go. We come off of flat ground, and our first pop here is at 18% grade. Okay, nothing to it. You can see the installation is beautiful. We're 3 feet to 4 feet wide with our concrete. For all the bollards all the way up, we have solid concrete. There's no half pour. We have a slow dip here And when we come down this way, you'll see why we have the dip. And then we're going to throttle up. We're going to hit the 18% grade. Coming up now, we're going to start going uphill. We got the comm shacks on the right. That's where all the electronic stationary goes. Now we got to throttle up. We're going up the mountain. This is like a number 2 slope for skiing. And we got to throttle up all the way at 40 miles an hour, and we'll still only be going about 25 when we get up there. So here we are coming up to the top of the mountain. And we're at the top. We're at the property line. As you can see, it's a little bit rough. We'll pull it in the shade a little. You can see the bollard wall terminates. There's a sheer cliff they can't climb down to. Additionally, you're at a 50% grade, almost impassable. We had some coyotes try to get through there. They sent 7 people through. They were near death when we got to them, just begging for water. They gave us all the information we needed. So now we're up at what we call the terrace. We've got the flagpole set up for Brian Colfage. He's going to do the flag raising on the 24th, 25th, and 26th, the following Monday. We're going to have a ceremony here. We'd like any of our Oath Keeper friends to come on in. Any of our 3%er brothers, all of them. You're more than welcome to come in for question and answer period. Our donors are all welcome. It's quite a big deal.
All right.
So let's hop out and take a look, and you can see, and we'll give you some more construction info. We had 2 mountains when we started. In 8 days, we cleared 500,000 cubic yards of fill. The path we just drove up on, the flat ground, those were 2 recesses. We had to raise them up 40 feet. Once we raised those up, we went to construction on the wall, while our dozers kept running 24 hours a day. This 31% grade was a ravine almost 50 feet deep. So we chopped this terrace out that we're parked on now, filled in the ravine so we could put in the bollards. We did all that dirt work in 12 days.
Wow.
The panel crews were coming up behind it, but Stinger Bridge and Iron did a fantastic job on the steel, and we're here in support of Tommy Fisher. Tommy Fisher and his people did an outstanding job, and my hat's really off to the concrete guys. Stanley Job and his people. We built revetments, 5 different roads, because we had to pump the concrete in. You can't get a truck up at 31% grade loaded. Impossible to work it. So Stanley Job's people would have to come up the backside of the mountain and then back down in to get to the concrete pumper. Now here's the guys that are the real badasses here. The concrete finishers walked up this hill backwards while they were doing their job. It was awesome to even watch them. Toughest guys I've ever met. The other thing about this project, the safety, we had no injuries, no crashes, no accidents, no bruises, no nothing. The chess match and moving of equipment and personnel was outstanding. I mean, American labor, American metal, American concrete. Our electricians, RT Electric, ASC Electric, look at the job they've done. It looks like a highway. Just beautiful. We've got 14 sets of cameras that get activated when the sensors go off. Each light pole has 3 LEDs. When we light this up at night, it looks like Shea Stadium. It's beautiful. That means our people on this side are safe. The people on the other side are lit up entirely. So we got them on a light, boys. It's just, we have shut this down. We had passings of almost 400 individuals the night I got here on May 17th, excuse me. The 4th night we were here, it was down to 30. When heavy construction started, it went to 0. We've had no crossings on this border in, 19 days now. We shut off 19 paths from the cartels right here. Behind you at the wall,
There's the paths, guys.
that's Sinaloa Pass number 1. It's completely gone. It doesn't exist. If you look out here, fellas, you're going to see the highway and the amphitheater. They would bring busloads of people down into that amphitheater, get them loaded in there by the hundreds, and then when the sun went down, they'd come rushing out like rabbits. They'd be all over the place. Impossible to catch them all. Impossible. So, really proud to be on the project. We've got some other special fiber optic stuff for our donors. Thank you so much. We build the wall. We really appreciate it. We've got a big drive coming up on the 24th of the month. Love to have everybody attend or at least call in. We've got question and answers. Going to have the whole staff of We Build the Wall and a bunch of special guests and friends are going to be here. We'd love to have you attend. So what we'll do now is take a ride back down the ski slope. We call it Deplorable Way, by the way. Yeah. The signs are coming. They'll be in this week. And we're going to go from there. And then we're going to show you guys the backside of the mountain and what we've cleared for our friends at the Border Patrol and the DHS. We've cleared an additional 4.5 miles of road around the back. We'll take a tour of that. We can get that on video.
Hey, for the folks on Twitter coming in a little bit late, can you explain some of the built-in security measures on the wall?
Absolutely. Each bollard is 25 feet in total length and height. We went with bigger, thicker steel, better, higher carbon quality. So we have 100-year steel as compared to the 25-year steel that's being placed now. Additionally to that, our bollards go 7 feet down in the ground, 18 aerial. So the 7 feet in the ground is fully concreted in. On top of that, each bollard tube, of which there are 9 per panel, is filled up to 10 feet. So 3 feet above the ground is filled with 4,000-pound PSI concrete. On top of that, we have 2 number 3 rods, or number 8 rods, okay, that are hardened. So you can't chip through it, burn through it, cut through it. There's no way you can get through it in 2 minutes. Our fiber optic sensors, they go out 40 feet, and our fiber is 7 feet below ground, and it goes down 47 feet. When you hit or get within 40 feet or tunnel, it sets off the sensors in 6 seconds. And what that does, it turns on the cameras, turns on the audio deterrence, turns on the visual deterrence, notifies DHS and the Border Patrol. They now have a speedway here where they can be to the top of this mountain in 30 seconds if there's an unfortunate incident. We got this. We got this. We built this for our people. Okay, we're safe. Our people on this side are safe. Those people are safe as long as they stay on their side. We're shutting down the cartels. We're shutting down the drugs at this half a mile. Upwards of 8,000 people a month coming through here. It's over. It's done.
Awesome. And you got guys patrolling it on this side, right?
We have our own people here on this side as well as Border Patrol. But Border Patrol has shifted their strength that was here onto the other side. They've got a lot of hell raining down over there. On the other side of this mountain, they've got the rape houses, the cartels, everybody's armed. We got chased by 8 fully clad military, Mexican side, AK-47s. We got it on video, we got it on tape. This is not a game. Anybody that thinks this is a game is clearly mistaken. It's just, you got to come down here if you don't believe it. This is a war zone on the American border. You have to get down here and look at it.
Awesome. So tell us some more about the 24th and 25th.
The 24th, 25th, and 26th. We're going to have the entire staff from We Build the Wall down here, a bunch of dignitaries, senators, congressmen, etc. We're going to have Steve Bannon will be here, Tom Tancredo, obviously big Border Patrol, Sheriff Clark will be down, Tom Tancredo, Chris Kobach, who's been instrumental in this, instrumental leading this charge. So our whole staff will be here to answer questions. We'll be live on Monday afternoon, I believe, and go through Wednesday afternoon. We'd love to have everybody come down and say hello.
Good to go. Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
And how high is the wall?
The wall's 18 feet and above.
18 feet above.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right. Awesome.
Yep.
Well, thanks for showing. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
It looks,
You're more than welcome.
it looks as good as anything we've seen along the border from California to Texas.
This is American craftsmanship at its finest. Like I said, the Corps of Engineers said this could never be built. We built this for under $8 million. So it's below retail of flat ground work with more quality, the highway, the lighting, the fiber, and we did this in 17 days. The closest bid that we had was, we had one for 26 million and we had one for 34 or 35 million, and one was 8 months and the other was 9. We did this in 17 days. So if Tommy Fisher and his people, Stanley Job, and all our favorite suppliers can't take a bout of this, Stinger Bridge and Iron, everything was flawless, you guys. It was a beautiful, beautiful experience to work with these people. It was very good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So why did the Army Corps of Engineers say they couldn't build it?
Economically not feasible. They didn't feel that it was necessary. There weren't enough people coming through or enough drugs coming through to make it a responsibility to the American people to finish this out. So they just said to hell with it, leave it open. And there are people pouring through here, drugs, cartel members, the sex trafficking and what's happening to women here. is absolutely god-awful. If you're a human being, you need to come down here and take a look at it. If you're a sympathizer, come on down. We'll pay for your ticket. You need to come see these rape houses. You need to come see what these people do. It's terrible. It's past terrible. It's awful. Children, women, it's terrible. It's awful.
Yeah, that's a good point. Now, you're an Army veteran yourself, right?
No, I'm DOD.
Oh, DOD.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right, awesome.
Defense contractor, 1983 to 91.
Awesome. Awesome work, guys. Amazing. Very impressive. Yeah, that's up to you.
Not me. I'm just a little pawn in the game.
Where are we going next?
We're going to come down the speedway, take it down the hill, let everybody see it's like heading up the back when we actually had to use construct these roads off in the distance you're seeing. They were impassable when we showed up here in the middle of May. We now have it set up so DHS can get up here, Border Patrol, IBWC, anybody can get up here and help anybody if there's a problem. We have effectively shut this off, but in overabundance of caution, we make sure that this property is safe in a multitude of directions. Routes in, routes to help, because we have to be honest with you, we're here for the American public. We're here to defend the sovereignty of the nation. That's why we're here. So 1 mile at a time, that's our motto. Brian Kolfage, our spearhead leader, that's what we're going to do. And if the donor support comes and we keep this up, we as the American people have had enough. We're the only ones stopping it. We're the only ones stopping this. It's a terrible situation.
You bypass the bureaucrats.
We're showing them. Here it is.
Yeah.
Here it is. You're not going to do it. The American people are.
Good to go.
Let's roll.
Jim Envy. Guardian Patriots.
Patriots.
There you go.
That's Stuart
He's
Rhodes.
been down the border for what, 3 months now?
A little over that, almost going on 5.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, let's go.
He's from President of Oath Keepers, and he's with Colonel John. So those of you that are Oath Keepers, that's who we're with. They came down to the border because they're looking to help out, and we need Americans to unite right now, and that's exactly what this is a first step for. We got some wall, but we got the Oath Keepers down here.
Someone asked
Exactly.
online that you'll find a way around it. That's what you got to patrol it for. That's why you got to have men that patrol it. No barrier itself would be secure without someone patrolling it.
That's correct.
It's a lot easier to do, and you got to bear it.
If you could stop,
Anything you want to say?
8,000 a month. Okay, do the numbers. You got 8,000 a month times $3,744 per head. I don't have my calculator, but it's somewhere in $250 million a month. It isn't going out of our tax-paying dollars for free. You know, this is we're preventing economic implosion, and that's what will destroy the republic.
thing you're saving on that side ought to be being channeled back in to pay you to do this.
Correct.
Well, walls work, obviously. It's what they used all over the world. That's why we use them between North and South Korea, right?
That's why we use them. That's why we use them in Germany. That's why they're used all over the planet. Czechoslovakia, the Russians, China. Everybody's got them. But oh, America, you're supposed to pay for everybody. When's it going to stop? You guys can see the depth right here. Look at this. Feel this coming down.
Now,
You can get a good look at the side revetments we cut in. Yep. We reduced these two mountains. It took us 4 days. Got everything. And Tommy Fisher and his gang did a magnificent job. His sons Grant, Ryan, and Sean are all involved. His straw bosses were excellent. Can't say enough about it. Stanley Job and his people, man, top notch, top notch. You know, you always have an event in these type of builds. This would have normally taken somebody else 3 or 4 months. 17 days. Very impressive.
that is impressive.
You know.
It's like a CB operation.
Yeah, this is basically a task force or CB operation.
Sure,
You know.
absolutely.
Get in here and build it like a man. Be grown men. Let's get at it.
Can do, right?
Yeah, can do. And we've also increased all of the water retention while reducing the mountains. We increased and cleaned up the property. And you can see the spillways, as we call them, they're 4 times the size they were on acceptable property. Just everybody did a great job.
Now, the owner of the land here, this is American Eagle Brick Company.
Yep.
Hats off to them for donating the land.
George,
That's impressive.
George, the owner, is a combat Vietnam pilot, combat pilot.
Awesome.
85 years old. He said yes to this because he can't even go out on his own property. He had to shut the brick facility down. It was too dangerous for him. He was getting afraid to walk from building to building. They've assaulted the other property owner, the other stockholder, who also is on the property. They've assaulted him. They've attacked his animals. They've tried to kill him. There's been physical altercations, breaking into offices while men are in the offices. It's been very, very bad, and nobody cares.
So this section right here with chain link,
Yep,
that's also his property, right?
this is correct. We're on the American Eagle brick property. This fencing's been installed by our good friend Ish and ANC Fence. As you can see, they've done a great quality job. We're in the middle of finishing up the concertina wire on top of the barbed wire. At the request of our donors, they want to see some barbed wire. So we're doing more added protection inside our own bollard on the Rio Grande in case people jump through the dam, which we've been told is a frequent occurrence.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
on the other side of this fence is U.S. soil or
It's U.S. soil.
At the center line of this ditch, it becomes federal property. So that is the
Okay.
property of the American people. You know? And that's the Great Rio Grande Dam. And you guys got the cameras pointed at the great state of Texas.
well, I knew that was the culprit. Rio Grande doesn't.
Yep. So now what we're going to do is we're going to sneak up the back way, going through the property.
It's okay to film this?
Yeah, you're fine. Yep. Yeah, we're not. There's nothing to hide. We're going to show you the roads that we've also cut out, cleaned up, and made accessible to relatively high-speed vehicular traffic.
This was not here before at all.
This was absolutely junk. Hadn't been touched, you know, in 6 years. You couldn't pass through here. None of these roads going up and in were passable at all. So we stick the dozers on it and the motor graders and rollers. And you can see now, while it might not be a highway, it's a smooth road, and we can go 25, 30. We can go 50 if we had to. There's no need to, but if somebody needs help, you know, over on the other side by the railroad tracks, because what happens is they sneak on the other side of Mount Cristo Rey and head for the tracks. Then they try to jump the trains. And their sympathizers, the train will come to a complete stop, and out come the ladders on the other side, 4 miles west of here. So you can see we've got this place really cleaned up. This was nothing but a rock road. You couldn't get up here and take you 20 minutes to do what we're doing right now. And you know, we're going 20 miles an hour.
Where's the mountain at?
You'll see it when we come up. You're gonna get a direct view at marker 2.
Gotcha.
You know, and you'll get a really good look at everything when we get up there. What we're doing is basically taking a back way back up to the terrace. And this is the road that we cut out for all the concrete trucks. We had over 600 concrete trucks on this job. So we had 600 loads. Now, as we were going up, we went from 8 yards per truck to 6 yards, obviously to save the drive lines and the equipment. You know, there's no sense in trying to blow your equipment up while you're trying to do a job. You know, we have the best equipment American made you can get. We got Caterpillar, Peterbilt, Ford, Kenworth, Freightliners. Our pumping guys were great. The Max, they brought the 175-foot pumper in. Did a fantastic job. We're going to use them again. We're going to use everybody again on the next section of wall, which is coming soon. But our donors, we got to get that support churning up. We got to get some people rallied up, fired up.
You did this for $6 million?
We did this between 6 and 8 million. I don't have the final figures. I know it's around 6.5, maybe 7. You know, a little bit more.
So you want to keep building that fund back up?
We want to keep building. We have to keep the fund building back up. We're a 501c4, fully transparent. You can see off in the distance, there's our flags we were just at.
There's your terrace.
We've come around, we're at the terrace. There's marker number 2 from the Gadsden purchase.
Way up on top of
That's a survey mark.
the white tiller.
Yep. These guys did a great job. This is our takes all the rain, retention water. This is all the cartel, the coyotes, dropped 6 people off on the other side of that mountain and told them to follow this trail. It's a little bit hard to see, but you can see the gulch. They sent 7 of their best people up through here We caught them. They were near death. We caught them at 3 o'clock in the morning. They were begging for help. They were done.
Where'd you catch
Right
them?
here, right down at the base. See where this? See the slide marks for people sliding down?
Right.
Okay. Yeah. They were near death. All they wanted was water. They told us everything that was done to them. The rapes. It's just terrible. Just terrible. And people that live in the rose-colored world, they just don't believe it's happening. They need to get on a plane, get on a bus, or drive down here for their summer vacation. Spend a week down here with us. Matter of fact, come down with me. I'll take you to lunch, and I'll take you to Anapra, where the real hell's flying. It's 2 miles away because we shut this border off. This is shut down. Thank God for Brian Colfax stepping up to the plate and starting this thing. Because, you know, if you're looking at 8,000 a month, there's 100,000 a year we just took off the plate. And if we can do that over the course of the rest of the year, if we can stay going and building, and our donor support comes in, we're going to shut down some serious mileage. We're not going to let the liberals stop us. We're not going to let the failed bureaucracy stop us. We're working diligently with local economies and putting a lot of money into those local economies, as well as we're working great with the federal people. We're just all working together. We have a lot of support out there, but we need more.
Gotcha.
So here we are at the top, overlooking beautiful west side of El Paso, Texas.
And what would be your message to President Trump about this project?
President Trump, we love you, and you're right. Everybody that says you wanted Fisher Industries, there's a reason. Those people did their job, and they did an outstanding job. Can-do effort, same as the Seabees. We got this thing done 17 days. We get this straightened out. We want to help build coast to coast, be your task force team. We'll go in and plug your gaps wherever you want. We build the wall, and the American people are behind you 100%. I'm a Trump day one, always will be. Thank God for you, you're saving the country. This thing would be a disaster if anybody else was the president.
Well, it was a disaster up until Trump got it.
Well, so you got
So guys, that's Foreman Mike, and we got the president of Oath Keepers out here, and John, that's Stuart Rhodes. They came down, they asked if they could get a tour of the wall, and I said, yeah, so we brought them out with Foreman Mike, and they're up here checking it out, but also they're checking out setting up operations along the border. So the call for help is going out, and people are responding. Oath Keepers is a great organization. I know some of you know people who are members, if you're not already a member. But they came down here, and you know, they've got a lot of volunteer Americans that can get down on the border as well. And that's what we need. We need people to take the initiative, because America, you're the only guys that are going to be able to solve this at the end of the day. Just like with the wall, you know, get over to webuildthewall.us, and I always say this: donate a little, donate a lot, or at least share the video. You know, you never know. If you can't donate yourself, you just go ahead and somebody else might donate. But oh, I wanted to bring something up, guys. There was a gentleman, Fernando Garcia, here in New Mexico. He's for the illegal immigrants' human rights. And he did a press conference yesterday, was talking about how, you know, if you guys are familiar with the El Paso area near here, we had 7 people drowned in the river, the Rio Grande. And he was trying to blame, first of all, President Trump, like they all do. But secondly, he was trying to blame the Border Patrol and some different things. He even included us, the Guardian Patriots, but he referred to us as simply the militia. But the thing of it is, the point I wanted to make is that when you don't have Border Patrol agents on the border to patrol the border, and they're busy changing diapers or feeding bottles and driving people to appointments and haircuts and stuff like that, understand something: you are not going to have Border Patrol everywhere they're supposed to be. I will say this to you, Fernando Garcia: those people drowned as a result of you anti-borders people not responding to heed. to the Border Patrol, the Department of Homeland Security, that they need more help down here. Okay, maybe the Guardian Patriots or the militia being down here proves to you that there's an emergency because people are coming through everywhere, and when you have no Border Patrol, you're not capable of responding. That's why we're here. So I just wanted to say, Fernando Garcia, thank you for making the point for Donald Trump that this is, in fact, an emergency, a national crisis, and I'll also add something else to that. It is an invasion. So keep spreading your word about the poor immigrants and the abuses that they're going through, but yet don't talk to the governor of New Mexico or Veronica Escobar or the real people here that are responsible for continuing to enrich the cartels. Maybe if some of the immigrants who are thinking about crossing into America see your video, which is full of your stories, not facts, then people will be deterred from crossing. The Border Patrol is doing the best that they can with what they have. They are not able to control how many people come through a day. They're not the ones building processing centers. They're not the ones, they're doing the best they can with the amount of meals they have, with the amount of space they have. The problem is, Congress, you guys won't solve the real issue here, which is the laws to stop people from making those dangerous journeys when you have an overstrained Border Patrol. So I just wanted to say that to you in case you're listening, Fernando Garcia. You made a point on behalf of Donald Trump. You didn't hurt Donald Trump, you just helped him. So I just wanted you to know that. Stuart, you got a minute?
God bless you guys. Yeah, I'm still live streaming. Go ahead.
Hey guys, this is Stuart Rhodes, president of Oath Keepers.
How you doing?
And I just wanted him to say a little bit. You saw the wall out here. How cool is it?
It's incredibly impressive. Like I was saying earlier, you know, I've been up and down the entire border, all the way from California to Texas, and Colonel John and I both have been all over the place. And this is as good or better than anything we've seen. In fact, it's better than anything we've seen by the U.S. government, frankly. I mean, I don't know what the sensors they're using, but the explanation of the sensor system and the lighting is very impressive. So I think it'll take far fewer men, obviously, to patrol this than it would without it. So hats off to them. Really, really an awesome effort.
Yeah, absolutely.
And hats off to you. I know you've been out here for from day one, right? 4 months.
Yeah. We've been out here a long time, and we've been out here documenting and whatnot. But I was happy to see you come down here. You reached out to us, not just to see the wall, but you're also out here looking and trying to get some help to the border.
Well,
and I think that's that's a huge thing. A lot of people aren't doing that, and it's important because America really needs to see the seriousness of what's happening here. It's all along the 2,200-mile border. It's not just this little 4-mile section of Sunland Park.
Oh yeah, it's everywhere. You know, we were just talking about Hidalgo County, New Mexico, where the cartel basically owns the mountain range there in the Coronado National Forest.
Right.
There's no Border Patrol goes through there. Colonel John and I, we drove through on the Geronimo Trail from east to west, and we'll put that video up soon. But we drove through there. There was no Border Patrol anywhere to be seen, and that's where the cartels go through with their drug mules up and down the mountain chain. And so what has to happen is the U.S. military should be deployed there to put a stop to it.
Right, in an enforcement capacity, not a civilian role.
Well, I mean, they did this back in the 90s. It was called Joint Task Force 6. Was there with, it was Border Patrol, National Guard units, U.S. Marine Corps, and U.S. Army infantry were on the border, all working together in combined force. And, you know, of course, the Border Patrol would do the actual custody and enforcement. But, you know, the presence of U.S. Marine Corps and Army infantry locked it up.
It's a big deterrent, exactly.
The cartels would not go through there anymore. We talked to landowners down there, cattle ranchers on the border, and they said that was the time when the traffic stopped. The cartel is not going to screw around with the U.S. Marine Corps or the U.S. Army.
Yeah.
So that's what really works. So, you know, you have the Roosevelt easement down there. I know that there are ranchers down there who would love to see a wall like this on their ranch. And so I know there are patriotic ranchers all across the border who will donate land and let you guys come on board, I'm sure. So, you know, hats off and keep your heads up.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Don't lose hope. Don't lose despair. I was saying earlier, we're talking to some of the county commissioners in the border counties. We're hoping to get them and the sheriffs to come on board, either form posses or otherwise have some sort of volunteer under the county's authority, so that they have a little bit more legitimacy and some liability protection. So we're working on things like that.
That's awesome, though.
Too.
That's what's needed.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
But
yeah, well,
do
that's
what we
awesome.
can.
How are you guys doing with Oath Keepers? How's that going?
Doing pretty good. We were in Eagle Pass. We did a spot and report thing down there for a while, but it's frustrating though when you're just standing there and a guy shows up and all you can do is watch him as he's being processed and
Right.
you're given a bus ticket into the interior.
Exactly.
So I think that's got to stop.
It's very frustrating.
It is. So I hope that on military basis. That's what I think. If you're not going to release them back into Mexico, it's where they should be going. Then I think that's the next best thing is put them on a military base, make sure they're secure. Don't let them into the interior. All you're doing is letting people in who are going to wind up being legitimate voters for the socials left. Voters. If they were Republican, they wouldn't care. They wouldn't give a damn about them, and they'd be out here trying to stop them from coming in. They say. Like you were saying earlier, they're not paying attention to the minutes driving sex traffic. It's horrible. The cartels are brutal. They're like the American version of ISIS. They're the Western Hemisphere version of ISIS. And yet no one on the left wants to pay attention to that or say much about it at all. They're kind of silent about it. All they want to focus on is supposed abuses by troopers.
Exactly.
When these poor people show up, they're getting raped, someone's being killed, and the kids are being sex trafficked, being brought into the United States for pedophiles, and they're being brought here all the time. Being brought underage, being brought as a sex slave by the cartels. No one talks about that. All they want to talk about is we're supposed to, we're bad guys because we don't want to see this traffic carry on. We want to see it stopped.
Yep. Yep, that's the truth of the matter, guys. So anyways, Stuart Rhodes, thanks for coming down.
You bet, man. Thank you.
And
God bless you guys. Good job.
hey, thank you very much, man.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.